Alrighty, it's about 8:45 in the morning. This is my porch, my back porch for now. Got some chocolate mint going on here, and that's either spearmint or peppermint. I can't remember which one. But this is where I usually keep my blueberries in the summertime. It's one of the first places that gets shade in the summer because of the porch. These are for my kids so that they can do stuff too. We got some carrots growing from last year, and this one's got some little volunteer tomatoes growing. So I haven't really done anything with it. I wanted to add some more dirt to it, but I haven't really gotten around to it. So, alright. Looks like my kids got out the ping pong table yesterday. Didn't put it back. But we'll head over here across my little patch of grass that I've got. It's about the only patch of grass I have. And this is my mid-pride peach. We are anxiously awaiting for this little guy to pop out. We are so excited. It looks like we're going to have two more up here too. But anyways, this is where our peaches are going to go. This guy right now gets quite a bit of shade in the winter time because he's so close to the shed here. But that'll change in the summertime. He won't get as much. So probably have to shade him. And this little dog run I want to get taken down, but for now it's got things in there that we really don't want anybody playing with. Over here is where I put my blueberries, all 6 of them, in their own little buckets. This is a dwarf garden gold peach that I've had since last spring. We just didn't know where we wanted to put him yet, so probably going to put this guy pretty close to the mid-pride. This yard is just a work in progress, so we've got grass all the way up to about here. And then we've got the trampoline. And as I posted a picture before, this is a little compost thing that I've started. I can't figure out quite how to get the heat a bit higher, so it doesn't really seem to be doing much right now. Moving on. This is our garden area. The last trampoline we had took a hop over this fence. It's a good 6 feet tall, but not before it took out one of these T-frames. We grow everything vertical in our yard. We still need to put the T's on top of these ones, but there's some pictures on my Facebook profile of just how big everything got last year. I had tomatoes that went all the way up to the tops of these T-frames that are about 8 feet high. So this is where we've been planting, and we're going to put a couple more of these big 4-foot beds in. That's why all the ground is cleared over here. So back over here toward the porch. This is where I've got everything going that don't really know where I want to put it yet. Here we've got some strawberries in buckets. This way I can move them around and see just exactly where the strawberries are going to do best in my yard. Here's some of the things I'm trying to propagate. 2 of those are blueberry grapes. And the one in the middle is an apricot. No, a nectarine. So here we've got a goji berry. I don't think that it's the right kind for where we are, so it's in a bucket too, so I can move it around and see where it might actually do better. And then we've got these grapes that we are needing to put a structure up before we can put them in the ground. And they kind of popped out of their little containers last year, which is what I found out when I pulled them up to move them. We still got our blackberries in buckets as well. And these are my little seedlings that I'm trying to sprout. We'll see how long it takes. These two are supposed to be moringas, but they haven't popped out at all yet. This is a soaker bed that my husband and my father-in-law put in when we first moved in. We've got a bunch of lettuce in here. I'm not sure what kind because I probably planted it last spring and it didn't come up until this winter. But we've got a ton of it, and I know that that one there is chard. But I've also got my, you can see right here, this is my asparagus. It comes back every year. Should be good size this year. Pencil width at least. There's a couple of clusters of those in there. Kind of covered up by the lettuce right now, but this lettuce is great. So next to the lettuce, we've got more lettuce that we added in here. In case you guys are wondering about the fork, we've got a lot of cats next door, so it's got about 5 of them, and they like to come and poop in my boxes. So this is how I keep them out, because honestly, who wants to squat down and get stuck in the butt by a fork? They don't. It works. So that's what we've got. These are my 2 Santa Rosa plums. My neighbor has a Satsuma and a Santa Rosa, so we might be trading scions. So we'll see what goes on there. Oh, I missed one over here. These are my Tropic Gold apricots. They're in a pot right now because we're just not quite sure where we want to put them just yet. I thought we were pretty settled on that, but we might end up actually putting them right where they are. This is all on the east side of my house. These are all my guavas. I got 2 pineapple guava and a pink guava that I think we're going to go ahead and put in front of this window right here to help shade it. Alright, so moving on to the side yard. It's the north side of my yard. Lots of construction material over here still. I think this is basically just firewood now. So we've got our hedgerow of citrus, and this first one is a tangerine. No, it's a clementine, and then a Mineola, and then this is a improved Meyer lemon, and this is a Lisbon lemon. And these guys have some huge lemons on them. See this one, they're the size of my hand. I can't even get my hand all the way around them. We have another clementine. I'm actually really surprised that my kids haven't taken all these. This is an Arizona Sweet. This one is a navel orange. We only got 1 orange off of this one this year. Hopefully next year we'll get more. This is my ruby red grapefruit and a visiting tumbleweed that must have blown in here in that big windstorm the other day. Just haven't pulled it out yet. Let's do that now. And this guy here, I just recently planted, is our Bear's Lemon, or Bear's Lime, I mean. And he's got a couple of little fruits on him already. Oh, not anymore. Okay. Alright, front yard. This is my big wood pile. Wood chip pile I've had for about a year now. We're slowly taking from it as things go along, and we're ready to put the wood chips down. So if we dig down in here, it's nice and wet underneath. And it's already starting to break down and get nice and black. I've got it on a tarp, so, and all that white stuff in there too. Looks like we've got some microbial life going on in there, which is great. Awesome. Alright, so front yard, I did have 2 pineapple guava up here, but my husband wants to put in some sunscreen, or not really sunscreens, but he wants to put in some kind of structure for the grapes to go all the way up and cover, well, shade these windows really, because this is the west side of our house. This is a grapevine that it's been in the ground for probably 2 years. It's going into its 3rd year now. Last year we got so many grapes off of this thing that we couldn't even eat them all. We pulled so many raisins off when we finally just decided we probably better take everything off. So this is where we're gonna put the apples. For right now, they're healed in right there and covered. So we're gonna do that. Now, it's a little aloe vera plant we've had since we moved in. I haven't even taken it out of the bucket. And if you can see inside there, there's like no dirt in there. Hardly at all. I should probably add a little bit, but I mean, look at these guys. They just keep going and going and going. These are onions that I got from the store, actually. They were looking pretty wilted when I took them out of the refrigerator. So I just stuck them in some dirt, and they've just been going crazy in this little tiny bucket. So I just pull it off when I need it now. I never have to buy these little green onions anymore. We have a patio improved Meyer lemon. They've got all these little tiny lemons on them, but we've got tons and tons and tons of little blooms on this guy, all over the place. Now there's the other mint that I have, spearmint or peppermint, I can't remember which. I think my basil has finally just died off. I'll just plant some more, no big deal. I've got tons of seeds, and it likes to just grow out here because of where I've had it before. So all these little blooms on this guy. This is just a little mini rose that someone brought me for my birthday, and I just stuck it in there. And this is where I have 2 Phoenix tomatoes that I planted way too soon. They're kind of dead, so I'm going to pull them out and put some more in there. Over here, I am really not sure what kind of pomegranate this is. I really don't know, but I know that the other one right next to it is a Parfionca. I lost the tag on this one pretty early on, so that's why I can't remember. This is a Thompson grape. The other one that we saw earlier was a Flame on the other side of the house. This guy didn't really get too big, and we only got like maybe a bowl full of grapes from this one last year. So, again, we need to get a structure up for this guy, so I'm probably going to cut him down pretty harshly here soon, so that once we get that structure up, he can just go ahead and climb up it and not have all this mess of branches and stuff. So now here where my lovely children have put their bike ramps and all these cinder blocks, I want to put a moringa to kind of help shade the house. But then probably about right here is where I'm going to put my desert, or my dwarf mulberry that I'm getting from Seamus O'Leary. That's probably where we're going to put it. We want to put another moringa over on this side of the yard that we were just on by the wood chips. I want to put it right there where that hole is. That's where I had an Anna apple and it just kind of died. So I don't know what I did, but it just did not survive. So, show you guys the orchard that's across the street. We live on a dirt road, so our cars are always dirty, but there's the orchard and the Santan Mountains behind it. He's got blood oranges, he's got, I think he has Cara Cara. He has a lot of Arizona Sweet, navel. He has one Anna apple in this orchard too. If you can see all the way down to the end of the orchard, there's a little structure down there that's fenced off. And in there is where all of the beehives are. And they come and visit all the time. In the summertime, we can't go out into our yard until maybe about 7, 8 in the morning because there are just too many bees. My kids don't want to go out there either. So we like it pretty much out here. And our neighbor is doing a pretty cool thing in his yard too. He's got quite a few little trees pretty close together that he's doing. But that's his lemon tree there. And actually, I think on this side it's a sour lemon because these lemons look so different from the ones that are on the other side of his tree. So I think that's the rootstock coming up, but it's still pretty good for juice. To be honest, my kids like to pick them off and make lemon juice all the time. I can't remember what he said this was, but it has some little teeny weeny fruits on there. Citrus. And then this one, I believe he said is a pomelo, and he gave us one of those to try the other day. We haven't cut it open yet. And then he's got a pomegranate over here. And the structure that he has there is for his sulcata tortoises that he breeds. So if you need a turtle or a tortoise, this is where you come. He's always got them going. But you can't really see right now because all of his trees are dormant, but he's got a ton of little trees over there and a little cactus garden and stuff. But it's pretty fun being able to trade things with him. So that is pretty much our yard. One more thing I forgot to let you guys know is we're going to be putting some we got 2 more pomegranates that we're going to put in. I got a Wonderful and an Eversweet that I'm probably going to put right here. Right here in the backyard along this back wall that gets so hot in the summertime. So, and then once summer rolls around, I'll probably just end up moving these guys back up onto the porch. So, that's it. We'll keep you guys updated.